All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the crusade. And for all the new people out there who recently joined this channel, I need you all to understand. The only thing that I do on this channel is slay dog culture. I need y'all to understand that. I have absolutely no respect at all for the existence of dogs. I do not respect their life. Okay? You catch my drift? I don't respect the life of these mutants. And I don't have to respect it. None of us have to. None of us are morally obligated to embrace or support their existence. As long as we're not breaking the law, we can believe whatever we want. And I always tell people, don't go out randomly attacking no dog. But I do tell people to protect themselves. We don't have to respect the life of dogs the way that we respect human life, something y'all don't know nothing about, or the way that we respect natural animals of the earth. So let's just squash that before we get into this. Now, this was uploaded 5 days ago. As I've been saying over the past few live streams, over the past week or so, they've gone on another round of media coverage of the ban. Because of the ban, everybody's throwing a fit. And as y'all know, they always pull dog lovers onto these shows because they're all dog lovers. But there was a few things in this that I have to deal with. Okay? And we're going to get started here with this guy. What's this guy's name? I think they show his name. Let's go.
Thank you both for joining us. Graham, before we talk to Sophie and Billy, just explain to us what an XL bully is. As in, it's my understanding is a relatively new breed. Many people saying it's been bred specifically for its muscles, its strength, and its ability to fight. Is that fair?
It is and it isn't. So it's a really good question.
Okay, now he started off, he just said it isn't. That's what I heard. He doesn't really complete this thought, but you clearly heard him say that they're not bred for their muscle and tenacity and ability to fight. Yes, they were. What are you talking about? The whole bully breed is the fighting breed. What are you talking about? So that's as soon as he started talking, he made a mistake. Let's continue.
Many people saying it's been bred specifically for its muscles, its strength, and its ability to fight. Is that fair?
It is and it isn't. So it's a really good question. What is an XL bully?
So I'm not making a mistake here. He just said it isn't. People, these things have already been bred for fighting. That's already completed. So the fact that some people try to keep them as family pets does not make a difference. And that does not mean that they're changing its DNA. You see, it hasn't lost any muscle mass despite having been used as a family pet for the past few decades. So what is y'all talking about? Ignorant. Yet they pull a bunch of people on here who don't know what they're talking about. And many of these nutters are aware that the general public is ignorant about dogs, on all dogs, and they try to take advantage of it. I'm going to share an example of that on this video.
I don't think the government entirely know. They've described it in a very blunt way, which could encapsulate all sorts of dogs, it's got to be said. Some people, no doubt, have been breeding dogs to be a status dog, to be perhaps, have tendencies to being aggressive, and they've been bought by the wrong kind of people. However, and it's a big however, not all...
Okay, this wrong kind of people, too. They've been bought by the wrong kind of people, suggesting that they've all been thugs, or most of them have been young male thugs. Now, I'm not from the UK. I don't know the demographics of the UK like I do here in the United States. But I've always thought that in the UK, when people say thug, they could be talking about blacks or whites, because I thought there were a lot of slums in there in the UK, and a lot of guys from those tough areas, you know, they're considered thugs. But that's a lie too. Those are not the only types of people that acquire bully breeds. So stop with that. I'm starting to hear more and more of this. Oh, it's a thug's pet. What are y'all talking about? No, it is not. It seems like the majority are middle-aged white women, like the one you got on this show right now. You don't got no thug on this show, do you? Y'all notice they always talking about how thugs own these things, but when they have a guest on there, this is what they have. You got a bully breed owner on your show right now, and you try to project this idea that only thugs get them. Get out of here. Make sense. Lay off the meth, at least in time to do an interview, and make sense, please. I shouldn't have to decipher stuff like this.
I think we're about to probably hear that from your guest. There are lots of lovely dogs out there, so this ban, a lot of people think, is very unfair.
Okay, there are a lot of lovely dogs out there. He's saying that not all XL bullies are vicious. Okay, if there are a lot of lovely, harmless XL bullies out there, then point them out. Show them to us. Show us the ones that are not lovely. You can't identify them, can you? Fine, case closed. Let's move on. Idiot. Stop with that. What is with y'all in these goofy leaps of logic? Okay? We've heard this several times. It's not all of them. It's not all. Okay, well, identify the safe ones. You can't. And that is the problem. Listen, pit bulls would not be a problem if we were able to identify the ones that were harmless, that would never attack in their worthless life. Y'all can't do that, and that's exactly the problem. Because if that were the case, then they would never attack anyone. And my only gripe against them will be everything other than physical attacks, because they don't attack people.
XL bullies are like that. I think we're about to probably hear that from your guest. There are lots of lovely dogs out there, so this ban, a lot of people think, is very unfair.
Well, Sophie, all the research I've done into XL bullies says that they're affectionate, they're loyal, they're apparently good with children when they're properly socialized, and they're not inherently aggressive. But then the statistics suggest that they are the most dangerous dog of the moment.
Well, we are questioning some of the statistics that are in the media, because I think you can look at a dog, a big sort of bull breed dog, and instantly label it as an XL bully.
You see, immediately, this is what I was talking about. This is what I referred to earlier in this live stream. She's trying to take advantage of people's ignorance. And they always do this when it suits their little pathetic arguments. Now she wants to point out that they're not really XL bullies, and there's no way to identify an XL bully. Because the fact is, the truth is, all bully breeds need to be banned. So don't even try it. Don't even try it. I don't care if it's not. Y'all all know, all four of these people know that the bully breed itself is the problem, not its variants. They all need to go. Again, right now over there in the UK, they have the Pit Bull Terrier banned. The American Pit Bull Terrier is one of the dogs that has been on their ban list. So are you saying that XL bullies and other bully breeds are not as lethal as the Pit Bull Terrier? There are other bully breeds that would probably regularly beat a Pit Bull Terrier in a fight. A Cane Corso, one of those Napoleon Mastiffs, these are these giant bully breeds, just like XL bullies. So there's no difference, and the real issue here is the bully breed itself.
I think we're about to probably hear that from your guest. There are lots of lovely dogs out.
statistics that are in the media.
Okay.
And they're not inherently aggressive. But then the statistics suggest that they are the most dangerous dog of the moment.
Well, we are questioning some of the statistics that are in the media because I think you can look at a dog, a big sort of bull breed dog, and instantly label it as an XL bully, particularly if you've seen a lot about the breed in the media. But when I did my research on the breed, everything that you've described is why I got this dog. I was looking for something with a bit of size that could handle long hikes and an outdoors lifestyle.
Handle long hikes? So you purchased a lion? Really? Oh, I'm blown away here. So you go purchase something that can bite your flipping head off because you wanted something to go take on a hike? That's smart. How smart is that?
Handle long hikes and an outdoors lifestyle, but also a dog that was affectionate. And I grew up with...
Thing ain't affectionate. It hasn't shown affection not once since it's been on camera with you. You've been the one up here scratching it and rubbing on it and giving it food. And speaking of food, that's the only reason it's beside you right now. In case y'all missed it, she's been up here feeding this thing. And understand how she's doing it. How she's luring and manipulating the thing's obsession with food. She got the dog on her left side. And she's feeding it with her right hand so that it has to reach across her to eat it. And that will keep the dog on the camera. So she's sitting up here bragging about how affectionate it is, and she has to lure it just to sit beside her. You gotta fork over food just for it to sit beside you. Goofy nutters. This discredits y'all's, this hurts y'all credibility so bad. Y'all's failure to use logic kills you.
Bully, particularly if you've seen a lot about the breed in the media. But when I did my research on the breed, everything that you've described is why I got this dog. I was looking for something with a bit of size that could handle long hikes and an outdoors lifestyle, but also a dog that was affectionate. And I grew up with bull breeds, so my heart is with them. And he's met everything that I wanted in a dog.
And you are dumb. So if that thing latch on in your face, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You know what that tells me? That mentally, you have not grown or developed since you were a kid. You still got the brain of a 5-year-old. That's all that tells me. Once you mature and you learn, you understand you had no business even being around the thing. And that's just using logic and common sense and dealing with facts. And a lot of people are like this. In most ways, they have not matured beyond childhood. They still got a prepubescent brain. Let's continue.
With a bit of size that could handle long hikes and an outdoors lifestyle, but also a dog that was affectionate. And I grew up with bull breeds, so my heart is with them. And he's met everything that I wanted in a dog. He's never showed any aggression towards any other animal or human. And I think the same can be...
Okay. Now, there was just recently an attack. It took place less than 24 hours ago, the story surfaced, where, as usual, they said that the dog that launched the attack had never shown aggression. There is an endless number of cases where the dog had never shown any aggression. We're far beyond the point where that point is irrelevant. The fact that you have never seen it attack anything doesn't mean anything. How many times does this have to happen for y'all to get the message? No comprende. See, this is a comprehension problem. This is an IQ problem. And I point out IQ. This is why I point out IQ. Because I spend a lot of time just trying to direct their frame of thought, trying to correct them and correct their illogical arguments. And I shouldn't have to. Just stop it. Lord, we need supplements that help your brain. I think there are some, right? Ginkgo biloba and some of that stuff. Lord.
Heart is with them. and he's met everything that I wanted in a dog. He's never showed any aggression towards any other animal or human, and I think the same can be said for the vast majority of these dogs that are pets.
No. The same can't be said. You have no idea what you're talking about. And also on top of that, every one of those dogs, all of them, 100% of them, have the ability, and any one of them could launch an attack on anybody. And you know that. So why are you playing dumb? Y'all know full well that none of you know when or if these things are going to attack. You're just showing the world that you're dumb enough to risk it. Showing the world you're dumb enough to take the chance.
People's homes.
Oh, I'm glad we've taken the screen furniture
That's
off so we can have a
pathetic.
proper...
That is so pathetic. This thing is only sitting beside her because she got food. You gotta bribe the thing just to sit beside you. All of that attention that these things show you is food obsession. And every time you see these people on camera, you see an example of that. That should tell you something.
a look at Billy, and he is a gorgeous looking boy, but
ain't paying her no attention at all. You calling this affection? What a strange definition of affection you got. This dumb mutt ain't even looked at you. He's just been focused on that food in your hand. What type of friendship is this? This the friendship and love, companionship y'all tell us we need to be jealous of? Get out of here. Boy, y'all got cotton candy for brains.
if he was aggressive and he came thundering towards you,
Pathetic, you see? She using food to keep it on camera with her. Pathetic. I'd rather have a real human friend who's sitting beside me on camera because he or she wants to. This ain't no friendship. This ain't no companion. This ain't no love relationship. And it's important I point this out because these nutters, they put a lot of stock in their personal love for these dogs. This ain't even love that we're talking about here. You bribing them with food. Now, we're going to leave this pathetic element of the human species in the past. I don't care what type of agenda they have planned for the future.
His muscles, you would be very frightened, and he obviously could do a lot of damage if he was in the wrong hands. And we've seen
it's in the wrong hands now. There is no type of hands appropriate for it to be in. Do any of you think this woman is able to control this thing if it wants to attack somebody? No. She gonna be another one of these idiots getting swept off her feet, and the dog is gonna attack whoever and whatever it wants to attack, and she knows it. Don't sit up there and talk to me like, oh, I have magic. Get out of here.
seen, Sophie, all the social media of people training their dogs to be aggressive, and these dogs, as JJ was saying, being
You see a lot of people on social media training these dogs to be aggressive. But yet, when you look at the reports, when these things launch attacks, quite often you see the owner is just like her. They're raising it with hugs and kisses. Y'all not gonna sit up here and deny facts.
their dogs to be aggressive, and these dogs, as JJ was saying, last year being responsible for 7 out of the 10 fatalities that were caused by dog attacks. So if banning the breed isn't the answer, what is the answer? You know, might it be making dog owners get a license, for instance, like you had to in the old days?
Absolutely, and I'm part of a campaign.
Absolutely not, lady, because it don't matter if you got a license or not. You can't control that thing. I don't care if you got no license, and you don't want no license. Like I said yesterday, you don't want a true test to see if you can neutralize these things, if you can physically detain these things and restrain them, especially when they want to get to a target. That's not the only test y'all need to deal with. Okay? You're going to need a leash test. And we're going to have something that dog wants badly, like another dog. Let's see if you can hold on to a dog that wants to attack someone. Your next test will be, we release one of these things on you. Okay? Because it could attack you. or someone in the home. You got to show your ability to physically neutralize it. Can you do that? You will never do that. Not once, not in your life. So stop with this license nonsense. Y'all don't want that, and it doesn't matter. Because people will simply be attacked by dogs whose owners have a license or who doesn't. Because just like you can drive a car with no license, you can own a dog with no license. They're not offering solutions to the problem. They're just looking for more ways to extract resources out of citizens. Because what if you get caught with a dog and no license? A fine. Bring us some money. Yeah, we're going to make you bring us some money if you don't have a license. It's not going to stop people from owning these things.
Making dog owners get a license, for instance, like you had to in the old days.
Absolutely. And I'm part of a campaign group called Don't Ban Me, License Me. And that's exactly what we're asking for. When you look at other countries that have done away with banning breed after breed after breed, because let's face it, unscrupulous breeders and owners who don't care about these dogs will simply move on to another potentially bigger and more powerful animal.
That's another one of their cons. Whenever they say that, they're talking about other bully breeds. And they're right. They're right. That's why all bully breeds need to be banned. Okay, I would like to know what they have to say about that. We have not fallen for this idea that there's a difference, that one bully breed is less lethal than another. That's not how we're thinking. That's the argument they're trying to put on us, just so they can debunk it. We're not saying that only the XL bully should be banned. If you're seriously talking about safety, increasing safety, you got to get rid of all fighting breeds. Again, we should have never created them. We should have never bred them into existence in the first place. And the most responsible thing to do is drive them into extinction.
So we are saying that dogs should be licensed, and there is a level of responsibility that comes with having a large dog. I knew that when I got him, and I was prepared to put in the work in terms of the training.
And you're still worthless. Lady, don't tell me. I've watched hundreds of people fail to control these. I'm about to show some now. Almost every time I show attacks, it involves a man or a woman who can't control a thing. So stop with that. You expect us to think that you're Superman or something? You Wonder Woman?
Required at the moment. I think he'd rather have his breakfast than sit here, unfortunately. But I was aware.
She just had to confess that the dog is focused on the food. How pathetic is that? Pathetic is that? Y'all's loving companion, right? Ooh, just proves it's all in your imagination. So loving. You haven't experienced real love until you've been loved by a dog. Really? Oh, what a display of love right here.
Aware of the responsibility, and I would never let my dog off lead to go and charge up to somebody else, despite the fact.
But it would anyways. Did you hear what she said? I would never let my dog off lead. How many of them do you think is doing that? These people are not intentionally letting these things off the leash to attack. What are you talking about?
Than sit here, unfortunately. But I was aware of the responsibility, and I would never let my dog off lead to go and charge up to somebody else, despite the fact that he's friendly. I think you always have to be.
What? This is what I'm talking about, people. Okay, it don't matter, ma'am. If your intention was to hold on to the leash, that's irrelevant. Because again, it can snatch you clean off your feet. It can snatch that leash right out your hand. Usually, I'm talking most of the time, when one of these things want to get at a target, it pulls the owner clean off their feet. So yes, you would lose control of it. Shut up. Give me that.
And I would never let my dog off lead to go and charge up to somebody else, despite the fact that he's friendly.
No, it's not friendly. If it goes up to someone, it's begging for food. Dogs have figured out that humans are dumb and just will give them food. We'll pull out food from nowhere like magic. It's not being friendly. It's actually being bullyish. Give me food. Understand, when dogs are eating, they tell you don't bother them because they'll attack you when they're eating. But they'll walk right up to you when you got food. And even if you don't get food, them coming up to you, they're begging for food, saying, if you got food, give it to me. Which is another reason I hate the idea of feeding these things. Feed them nothing. Let their parasite-infested digestive system starve. And that's what I'd do if it was up to me, whether or not these things eat. Let's continue.
I think you always have to be conscious that some people are scared of dogs, whether that's big dogs, small dogs, any dog. And unfortunately, in this country, it's far too easy to get hold of any dog of any size, and there's no responsibility to do training whatsoever. So why aren't we looking at countries who are doing things differently and seeing success?
In any of these places where there might be required license, if those people are passing this test, then the test itself is flawed, is rigged for them to pass. Anytime it's a true test of whether or not they can control these things, they fail.
So, Graham, Sophie's obviously a very responsible owner. But
No, she's not. She's the neighbor who has you in danger 24/7. She's that idiot neighbor who, when the dog launches an attack, they come and grab the dog some 30 seconds later and still fail to control it. I just shared a story where multiple adults said that they could not stop one dog from attacking something. I think it was another dog or something. All of this proves that all of you who own these things, you're doing something dumb. Let's continue.
do see mostly young men walking around the streets with these dogs.
You say that? She had to lure it with food again with the other hand. Y'all see that? This is their great magical friendship they talk about. They brag about all the time. Huh? It's this cartoonish Alice in Wonderland love they talk about all the time. This thing exclusively focused on that food. And she's acting like that's a good thing. She's directly interpreting this as love for her. That's pathetic and dumb. It's very low IQ. Very low IQ.
Mostly young men walking around the streets with these dogs, almost like they're weapons.
What in the... Did you see that food obsessed... We got... Let me mute this. Boy, did y'all see how fixated this thing is on that food? This is a dangerous level of obsession right here. Look how focused it is on this food. Watch this. It immediately turned, basically did a U-turn with its face right there on the edge of the bed. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. That is hideous. Well, okay. Listen, I'll just say this. Dog lovers, not everybody enjoys this. I'll just leave it there. Okay, let's get some sound. Because there's one more thing on this that I need to deal with. And I've been trying to tell people this for a long time.
It's like they're weapons. And they are intimidating.
Wait, one more thing. Listen to what this guy says.
Sophie's obviously a very responsible owner, but we do see mostly young men walking around the streets with these dogs, almost like they're weapons.
That statement right there, what type of crazy, sexist, racist comment is that? Just because they're young males, they're using them as weapons? A young man walking his dog, he's not doing anything different from any other dog owner. What are you talking about? Walking around with them like weapons. What are you talking about? I guess if you saw her walking the dog, she's not walking it, using it as a weapon, huh? Even though she's doing the exact same thing a young man would do. Y'all need to stop with that. All this thug narrative. Get off of that.
But we do see mostly young men walking around the streets with these dogs, almost like they're weapons. And they are intimidating, they are scary, and I can see them being aggressive. But is the ban going to work? Because surely those kind of people are just going to keep on breeding these dogs regardless. The police cannot go around the streets trying to identify if a dog is an XL bully or not.
Now, I'm sick of that too. We all know what bully breeds are when we see them. Everybody knows it. Stop talking as if they're hard to identify. They are not. Their genes are so distinctive. Quite often, they look straight up like a bully breed, even when they are part lab. So stop with that. Now, when you're talking about the XL bully, yeah, maybe it is difficult to identify an XL bully. It all exposes the stupidity of banning only XL bullies. Big dummy. The small ones can kill you too. Which lets me know this ban is a con. They literally created a breed to ban it. But before the XL bully, and in many other countries, you can simply find pit bull terriers of different sizes. Just like you find humans of different sizes. And when you look at the minimum weight of an XL bully, it's the same as the maximum weight for a pit bull terrier. So this is a con by the dog nutters themselves. The whole XL bully ban is a con. And now they're trying to use it to their advantage, saying, hey, we can't identify them. So because we can't identify them, let's just leave them all out in the open, in the public. No, that ain't the solution either. Just because we can't identify them, we shouldn't ban any of them? No, that means you need to ban more of them. Because there's other dogs that look just like them. Meaning they're just as deadly and they need to go too. Y'all don't want to follow logic where common sense is telling you to go.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, that's a very good point you raised there. Police officers aren't experts on dog breeds generally, so it makes life difficult for them. Listen, when this first came in, it was first mooted. I said, look, I don't think I've necessarily got the answer. I don't think any single person has, but Rishi Sunak, he thought he had the answer. And
I got the answer. And I want to respond to another statement by this guy. Now, but before I do that, look at the video footage that they share. Speak of the devil.
Fix it by Christmas. Oh, that's it. We'll just ban them. Well, to your point, they banned them before, didn't they? There are a series of dogs on the banned breeds list from when the Dangerous Dogs Act was first brought in. Pit Bull Terrier, Japanese Tosa, all of those. Now, look, you won't find many of those around the streets anymore, but the very fact that they've had to bring in another breed and ban it, I mean, it's a very blunt instrument, this.
Now, he just said it, and that's where I got this from. I just said that. They brought in a breed to ban it. Created a breed, a bully breed, to ban it. And they're talking about the 4 breeds on the ban list right now in the UK that are currently banned and have been banned for, like a couple decades now. And he's saying that that's proof that bans don't work. No, it's not. I've been over this 1,000 times. All your ban list proves is that you deliberately only ban 4 of the fighting breeds. 4 out of 4 of the most dangerous breeds. Bully breeds in general are the most dangerous dogs. And you only banned 4 types of them when there was some 16, 20 types of them. And they're trying to act like they're not aware of that. You was stupid for assuming that those 4 dogs were the only ones that could kill. How'd y'all get around to that anyways? How you get around to banning certain bully breeds but not others? Idiots. They were not identifying these dogs based on their different bully breeds when they simply say pit bull. People understand that there's no difference. Those differences people talk about is irrelevant. That's why everybody just say pit bull is a pit bull is a pit bull. And everybody knows what type of dog you're talking about. It don't matter if it's large, short, got short legs. We understand some of them got different mutations. So stop with that. Now, there's another statement that he made. Look at this video footage. And they're showing this as he's talking. You just heard what that lady said, talking about a license and responsible ownership. These people in these videos could have very well had a license as well.
That they've had to bring in another breed and ban it. I mean, it's a very blunt instrument, this. It proves that banning a breed doesn't work because, exactly right, people who are wrong thinking, and you will see the clip there.
She could have had a license. And the same thing would have happened. So the whole idea of a license has nothing to do with public safety.
Right now, people...
and we're supposed to give her a test? She's supposed to take a test to see whether or not she can control this thing? Be a waste of time.
Who are acting like that in public will simply get another breed. So it's really unfair on, I'm going to say...
No. They'll simply get another bully breed. These bully breed lovers, they know bully breeds when they see them. They know them when they see them. So don't start with that. Y'all trying to dance around what you're supposed to be doing. You're trying to dance around the most obvious solution to the problem.
Public will simply get another breed. So it's really unfair on, I'm going to say, the majority of XL bully owners who are responsible.
And of course, Graham, we know...
No. He said the majority of XL bully owners are responsible. No, none of them are responsible. None of them.
That there will be XL bullies that will be put to sleep, that will die as a result of this legislation. Because, I was just looking this morning, any XL bullies...
Those dogs have leashes on them. The dogs you see in this subway. She had them on a leash. So she tried and failed. And most of you will fail. So it's stupid to even talk about a license. Licensing is not going to give y'all superpowers.
That are currently in dogs' homes, like Batty Dogs Home or wherever, looking to be rehomed, they can't be rehomed. So they may well end up being euthanized. Oh, it look like we might have lost Sophie there. So they may well be euthanized. So what about Sophie's idea, Graham, about licensing dog owners? Because again, there's an argument that if you're a bad dog owner, you're just not going to bother applying for a license. You're going to buy a dog down an alleyway, not from a proper breeder, and you're not going to fill in any of the forms or get the license anyway.
Yeah. And that's a great argument. It's an argument I've actually used in the past, but I think things change. And I think, as dog professionals, we have to admit that there is a problem with a minority of XL bully owners. And
I have to say it. I'm sorry. I can't resist.
Argument. It's an argument I've actually used in the past, but I think things change.
Nice. So because again, there's an argument that if you're a bad dog owner, you're just not going to bother applying for a license. You're going to buy a dog down an alleyway. Yeah.
And that's a great argument. It's an argument I've actually used in the past, but I think things change. And I think, as dog professionals, we have to...
No, he said as dog professionals. You are not a dog professional. None of you are.
Admit that there is a problem with a minority of XL bully owners and other breed owners, I should say, who've got them for the wrong reason.
No, it's a problem for anybody to have them. Stop talking as if there's only certain types of people whose dog attacks someone. It's not. It's a variety of types of people. So why do y'all keep bringing that up? That's a failed argument. Stop it. So backwards.
problem with a minority of XL Bully owners and other breed owners, I should say, who've got them for the wrong reasons. Now, let me give you an analogy. What about motorbikes? Now, I've got a bike license. I can ride the most powerful motorbikes. These days, you can't just jump on a bike without a license. You get a license for a lower powered bike, and then you have to requalify in order to ride the most powerful bikes. Why would we not have a system like that? So the argument is, oh, well, people won't bother getting licenses. Well, you could say, well, look, people will jump on a motorbike and ride one without a license. Well, that's true. They'll ride a bike without insurance as well. But where would we be if we didn't have any rules?
You see? Let's not ban them. Let's just give license. See? Problem solved. It's a rule. Where would we be without rules? No. All they're doing right now is offering another failed idea. Just like the Dangerous Dog Act of 91 was a failed idea, and they knew it would fail. And they know that this would fail. We don't want to hear from you professionals. You've already proven to be failures. A bunch of frauds and con artists. We don't need you to think for us. Already implemented failed ideas, and now we're supposed to go back to you for more advice?
Their insurance as well. But where would we be if we didn't have any rules? And that's
every one of you would fail the test anyways. If it's a true test to see if you can control these things, all of you will fail. All of you. You'll have to demonstrate the ability to stop that thing from attacking someone else. You have to demonstrate your ability to control it, to restrain it. And also, nobody would be able or allowed to get too close to you, because then that would defeat the purpose of a leash. The leash is to restrain it, to keep it away from people. So now with this license, if it's for safety, nobody is allowed to get too close to a person with an XL. Get out of here. The whole idea of a license is stupid. It is not practical. Beat it. The solution is to get rid of these things. All of the bully breeds. Now listen to what he says.
where we are right now with powerful dogs. And I speak, by the way, as a former Rottweiler owner. I used to have 2 male Rotties, and they were then the kind of devil dog in the press. So single answer that's going to save you. However, yeah, not running, not screaming is your best chance. And I realise...
I don't want to hear that. I think it's one more thing here. This is probably the most important.
True, isn't it? But we've got to find a way.
Wait.
Talking about a baby in a...
being mauled to death by a Chihuahua.
Listen to this.
If you see a Chihuahua, Chihuahuas are going to bark and scream at you, but you're not in danger of being mauled to death by a Chihuahua or a Jack Russell.
Ah, well, you say that. So let's take a Jack Russell as an example. Without being too graphic, you don't want to imagine what a Jack Russell could do to a rabbit. That's what they were bred for. Now, if we were talking about a baby in a house, well, that doesn't really bear thinking about, does it? So shall we ban those as well? Tell you what, let's ban all dogs.
What? He's trying to be sarcastic. He's trying to be sarcastic with this point that he's making. But what he said is actually true. He just pointed out that Jack Russells can kill rabbits. Right? One Jack Russell can kill one rabbit. And then he compared that to what a Jack Russell can do to a baby. So he sarcastically said, so should we ban all dogs? Simply because even the small dogs can kill babies? Yes, we should. Those are the most important lives to protect. Talking about protecting and saving lives, this is for safety. Babies can't restrain a dog. They can't fight off a dog attack. They cannot observe these body languages that y'all talk about so much. It would be just as important to remove or ban the small dogs as well. He said, should we ban all dogs? Are they listening to us? It would be funny if they are. Because that means that they're consciously, knowingly choosing a failed argument. Failed arguments.
Well, you say that. So let's take a Jack Russell as an example. Without being too graphic, you don't want to imagine what a Jack Russell could do to a rabbit. That's what they were bred for. Now, if we were talking about a baby in a house, well, that doesn't really bear thinking about, does it? So shall we ban those as well? Tell you what, let's ban all dogs. Of course, I'm being provocative on purpose. We might as well say the roads would be much safer if we banned all forms of motor transport. Well, that's incontrovertibly true, isn't it? But we've got to find a way.
No. Don't compare us driving automobiles with owning dogs. If all automobiles vanish, the whole world economy would crash. The world economy would crash. It would be complete chaos if all vehicles disappeared. If all dogs disappeared, not only would it not have a negative impact on us, we would evolve. Life, civilization would evolve. Fact. So don't give me that.
Which is the right balance. So that, dogs do a lot of good for a lot of people, including...
They don't do nothing for us but attack us. That's the only thing they do to us. But these dog owners, they also expend resources on these things. These things are not doing nothing for us. They're nothing but a physical hazard and a health hazard. Physical hazard, health hazard. What are you talking about? You comparing dogs to vehicles? So they've just failed arguments nonstop.
Say XL bullies. Billy looks like a perfect example.
Whoa.
Of course, I'm being provocative on purpose. We might as well say the roads would be much safer if we banned all forms of motor transport. Well, that's incontrovertibly true, isn't it? But we've got to find a way which is the right balance, so that dogs do a lot of good for a lot.
He can't make sense out of it. He cannot justify the presence. He said dogs do a lot of things for a lot of. No, they don't. Nothing that they do for people that's in your imagination that you can't even explain. None of it is more significant than these attacks that they launch. Far more important to stop these attacks than to allow people to keep these things simply because they get off on rubbing them. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all's brains? Let's continue.
People, including, I might say, XL bullies. Billy looks like a perfect example of a dog that you'd love to be around.
No, it doesn't look like a dog that I love. What would I get out of it? She's on camera showing you that there's nothing to get out of it. Over here bribing it just so it'll sit beside her. You don't speak for me, dude. You nutters, stop speaking, trying to speak for the world. Another thing that makes me sick, y'all act like everybody loves dogs. Get out of here with that.
Billy looks like a perfect example of a dog.
And it's hyper focused on her hand, on food. The food ain't paying her no attention. You value that as friendship. You call that love. How weird. Okay, let's continue. It looked like, wait a minute. Okay, I think it's frozen up again. Are we still live? Are we still live? We better be still live. Okay, let me get out of here. There we go. How we doing out there? These people are on the verge of giving me a heart attack, to be honest with you. They keep bringing these people onto these shows. They're doing this on purpose. Trying to give them a platform, give them the best possible opportunity to persuade lawmakers. But I think it's a failed mission. I mean, they're going to do what they want to do. And they've already started. They've already started talking about how banning the XL Bully won't make a difference. And he would have been telling you this the whole time. And the whole time it's been a con.
Bullies. Billy looks like a perfect example of a dog that you'd love to be around. And they give an awful lot back. So
they give an awful lot back. He couldn't even explain any benefit of having this thing. Oh, they give a lot back. He's talking about love. Imaginary love. Get out of here with that. They don't give us nothing tangible. This delusional thinking needs to go.
Banning all big dogs, where do you stop? Ban all dogs, where do you stop?
Yeah, exactly. But he's talking about it as if, how ridiculous. No, there's no way we can't exist without dogs. I told y'all, these people think that they're physically related to dogs. And they very well may have dog in their DNA. They definitely have dog parasites. They have dog parasites all throughout their body, all of them. So that might be literal, that they have dog in them, and you talk like you got dog in you. Yeah, you hit it right on the money, buddy. Ban them all. Ban all large, yes. Ban all dogs, yes. I prefer ban each and every one of them, large and small. That's the smart thing to do. I just explained that. So this was a little pathetic display from these nutters once again, as always. And I feel better after responding to it. There's a few more issues that I want to deal with here. A few more points that I need to make.
Reportedly being attacked by two. You're learning 2 people have been taken to the hospital tonight after reportedly being attacked by 2 dogs in the Lower Valley. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Shields. According to El Paso Police, just before 7 this evening, officers responded to Danube Circle, that is near North Loop Drive. When officers arrived, they learned 2 dogs had bitten 2 people. An officer discharged his weapon at the 2 dogs while at the scene. A 10-year-old and a 40-year-old were taken to a local hospital. Our photographer on scene tells us El Paso Animal Services was also there. No other.
Okay. This surfaced December 27th. December 27th. Now, this is a follow-up to that report. This is in El Paso, Texas. Let me refresh this here. Yeah, I think I talked about it. A 10-year-old was attacked along with a 40-year-old.
New at 6, the 2 dogs that attacked a 10-year-old and a 40-year-old last night have been euthanized. That information confirmed by El Paso Animal Services this evening. This could bring relief to neighbors tonight. One of them telling ABC7 those 2 dogs were caught on camera attacking and killing their family's dog. Both these attacks happened on Danube Circle in the Lower Valley. ABC7's Sarah Coria joins us live with the details. Sarah.
Well, Stephanie, I'm in that neighborhood in the Lower Valley. Now, I did speak with a nearby resident who said she did not want to be identified, but she shared with us video of her dog's deadly attack. We want to warn you, the video is graphic and some may find it disturbing.
This resident is saying it seems like they were trained to kill. They attack viciously. A resident of the same Lower Valley neighborhood that experienced a dog attack on Wednesday believes this isn't the first time the same pair of dogs striked. She believes the same dogs are responsible for the death of her dog in October. She said video of the deadly attack was caught on her home camera. She shared that video with us. In the video, it shows 2 dogs attacking and killing her family dog, Snowball. It ends with one of the 2 dogs dragging the lifeless body of Snowball off screen.
So these dogs running around the neighborhood just attacking people and animals. Anything it sees alive, they're attacking. You can't train that out of them. You can't hug and kiss that out of them. Their true behavior surfaces all the time. You talking about creatures with such a high prey, it's not even a prey drive because they're not doing it for food. But it's so intense that whenever there's more than one, the likelihood that an attack will happen doubles. That's like they instinctively, as soon as they gather in a group of 2, 3, instinctively know to wander around and attack anything living. Y'all not gonna project creatures like this as loving or in any way beneficial to our society. You're not gonna project them as nothing positive at all. These are killers, and it just reflects poorly on you embracing their existence in society, which primarily sacrifices your kids' safety, not mine.
The resident says when she got there, her dog was dead. She picked him up and wrapped him in a blanket.
Killed it,
because they tore
killed it, and then went on to look for something else to attack and kill. Not because they're provoked, not because somebody pulling on their tail or ear. You idiots. You bring a creature like this inside of a home and then try to blame a child for being attacked by it? What a degenerative culture, man.
Off his whole back. She says the two dogs are dangerous and have continued to try and break her fence to get to her other dogs. The resident is saying they bit these dogs and there are lots of kids in the neighborhood and those dogs are dangerous. It seems as if they were trained to kill.
She said it seems as if they were trying to kill. I hear people saying stuff like that, almost as if they're totally ignorant of how these things attack. Like it sounds like they've never even seen one launch an attack before. How's that possible in this day and age? How is it possible that you're not familiar with how these things attack? Again, some of these people have been owners, acting surprised about how much blood there is. Yeah, when they attack you, your walls, there's blood everywhere. Yeah, it looked like a murder scene. That's what it is. Oh, there was so much blood. Oh, the wound, the gash was so deep. Yeah. That's what a 4-inch fangs will do. There's no excuse for this level of ignorance. We're supposed to be so advanced. Why don't it show? Somebody else had a severe hand injury. Some man was attacked, just like Aaron Gordon. Is it Aaron Gordon? Gordon Aaron? I don't keep up with basketball. But that injury he sustained could have easily ended his career, like I said. Feel your hand. Your hand is rather thin. It's not very thick. A dog's tooth can go right through your hand and bust up all types of cartilage, bone. That's a bad place to take an injury because the likelihood that you're not going to have normal function of that hand is high. A lot of moving parts in your hand. You have to protect your hands. Your hands are extremely important. And again, it should be a rule to not own dogs at all because it threatens businesses in the country. No matter what type of job you have, your hands are crucial. Think an auto mechanic. It's not just basketball, all forms of sports. It's hard to find a job where you don't use your hands. Where if you lose your hands or you can't use one of them or both, you can't perform certain jobs anymore. Owning dogs is counterproductive to the evolution of human beings. Face it. And it's beneficial to our evolution in more ways than I can sit here and think of. So get rid of them. We need to mercilessly drive dogs into extinction and celebrate after it. Make the day that we drove them into extinction, a holiday that we celebrate every year. And when we celebrate it every year, we'll have nothing but photos of all the victims. Photos of all the victims. And to be realistic, share photos of the victims on the operating table. Show how they look when they arrived at the hospital. And this is the type of documentary that needs to be made. What a sick culture. XL Bully is horrifically burned to death in sick attack as police profile. Now, I shared this story. I talked about this story already. How strange it was. I think I talked about it with the members. And maybe with the public. Found a dog tied up. Its paws was burnt. But they was talking about an ear sliced off and a head injury. They don't know how the thing died. Here's my thing. I don't want to hear about no dog or what happened to no dog nowhere. Okay? Stop pretending like you care. Y'all don't. Y'all don't. We slaughter animals for food every day, and they die a painful, horrific death, and none of you care. None of you care. Don't turn around and try to convince me that I should care about what happened to a dog. I'm too worried and concerned about the killing of animals on a systematic level. That's what you're doing with natural animals of the world. Killing them for food, killing them for sport. Sport. So I don't want to hear about dogs that attack us far more often than any other animal being found with injuries, because it's very likely that someone was protecting themselves from these dogs. And even if they were not, you ask me to contrast what happened to a dog with what dogs do to humans. Again, I'm not paying any attention to anything that happened to these. These things are an enemy to human beings. They're one of the greatest enemies to human beings, period. When these things are around, everybody is on high alert. They immediately make it uncomfortable. They're horrible for society. Horrible. And even the nutters that want to run up to them and let them lick on them, they're dumb. Again, there's no reason to even address them. At any point, they could get their faces ripped off. They're just showing you how dumb they are. Hey, look at me, risking my life, my face for absolutely nothing. Yeah, look at you. They talk about their love for these things as if that's supposed to mean something. Yeah, you in love with a worthless mutant. Good for you. That's another thing I wanted to deal with that I have a problem with.
Tonight, neighbors on Jacksonville's south side tell us they're concerned after witnessing what they say was a dog attack. This is video from outside a neighbor's home, and you can see a man walking with a long stick toward dogs across the street. Andrew Badillo is on your side tonight, joining us in the studio. And Andrew, I know you spoke with the neighbor who gave you that video. What did he tell you?
Heather, Gary Hunter said he was inside his home this afternoon when he heard his wife scream, saying loose dogs were attacking someone outside. He told me it's not the first incident involving loose, aggressive dogs. In this video, a man with a big stick is walking toward a group of dogs.
This man, listen to this.
I saw 3 pit bulls attacking a man walking his dog on a leash. I immediately got my son to grab a big, huge stick I have in the house.
Man, please. You should have stayed inside your house. There was a man walking 2 dogs, large dogs, and they was approached by 2 dogs off leash. That's his problem. These dog lovers, they know that they're magnets for pit bulls. That's your problem. Deal with that. And especially, I'm not about to walk out there with no stick. You walk out there with a stick and you get mauled. For what? For somebody who don't give a care about you at all? I wouldn't have done that. Now, if somebody is being attacked and they don't have dogs themselves, then I would help, but I wouldn't bring no stick. No, I'm coming with bullets. I'm coming with bullets. Okay? It depends on the victim.
To go out and try to help him fend them off.
Dr. Gary Hunter gave us the video. You can see the neighbor and his 2 leash dogs standing next to at least 2 unleashed dogs. In the video, it appears the dogs aren't being attacked, but the clip
This dude coming out like a superhero. See, this is why I don't like movies like The Equalizer. Projecting this idea that black males supposed to be the Superman of society and put our lives on the line for other people. People who clench their purse when we walk by. Get out of here. And aside from that, it's just dumb. I'm not walking out nowhere with no stick to help fight off some bully breeds. When it's another nutter, this person's dogs could have broken loose. Dogs could have broken loose. That's just dumb. Now, big fella, you lucky you didn't get mauled yourself. Because you sitting here in a wheelchair, okay? I don't think your balance is that good. Your balance not that good. You can tip over and fall easily, I can tell. And you would have problems getting back to your feet. And you definitely have problems getting back to your feet if you got 2 pit bulls on you. You could have died yourself. Permanently disfigured yourself. You ask me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'll go help a family member, a non-nutter. Okay? Y'all know y'all can't play dumb no more. All you dog owners, you know that you're a magnet. You're a magnet, and that's just one of the problems that you got to deal with and that you cause in society. You're a magnet for dogs, primarily bully breeds. That's the first thing they want to do is attack and kill just to kill, just for the pleasure of killing. Should have never been legal in the first place. Now, I need these young people, young men and women, to stop being dumb. Stop being dumb. Stop doing dumb stuff like this. Like
salty caramel.
Like expending your motherly energy on a worthless mutant. These are not babies. They're not replacement for babies. You don't show no worthless, disgusting, raggedy, demonic mutant like that. You don't give them the power of human affection. That's only for your babies. Real human babies, infants. Y'all spend your whole life Google-eyed over dogs. And by the time you get pregnant and have a kid, you don't appreciate motherhood. So what do? You endanger them every day by forcing them to live with a bully breed, like a dummy. I need to talk more about young people these days. This social media era is scary. It's having an effect on people's brains that wasn't there before. At least that's what I'm seeing. People seem more like robots these days, like they was created by artificial intelligence. You know, people losing common sense, logic and common sense. It's a wrap when that happens. You're sheep, you're food at that point. People gonna take advantage of you. Put you on a path that will do nothing but hurt yourself or your family or your neighbors and won't have any benefit for you at all. It's very easy to prove that dog culture, dogs themselves, are absolutely worthless and more than deserving to be driven into extinction. And any of you veterinarians, if you have issues or problems or hang-ups, euthanizing them. Recently, I read in an article that some veterinarians over there in the UK had some problems euthanizing the XL bully. Oh, I can't do it. I just can't. Give me a call. Give me a call. And I think I can find some more people who could euthanize these things for the state or whatever government needs volunteers to euthanize dogs. I can find other people and we will gladly euthanize as many as we need to. It's not going to affect us in a negative way at all. And I'm serious about that. Those people who love these things, they shouldn't be the one euthanizing them. I shared that fact that not long ago, where they say veterinarians have the highest rates of suicide. Veterinarians. And I guess they're blaming it on them having to euthanize so many of them. That you end up hanging yourself, you hung yourself, killed yourself because you just had to euthanize one too many dogs? Really? That's not funny. And I'm saying people should not do that. Nobody should be driven to that point, whether they're brainwashed or socially conditioned or whatever. We are doing wrong. Okay, we're not on the right path if that's what people are doing. Lord, shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. And I will see you on the next as we continue with this crusade.